Hi, I'm Mark Dunn, your Merchant Services Trainer. We all know the difference between a restaurant and a hardware store, but what about the difference between a website that sells bicycles online and another website that sells bicycle tours online? With a website that sells bicycle tours, the process is different. You see, bicycle tours are a form of what is called forward commitment. You pay with your credit card in advance for something that's not going to happen for several weeks or maybe even months. So it's really important to thoroughly understand what the product or service is that's being sold and how it is being sold. We're going to focus on three words that will help us understand the differences. These three words are risk, process, and goal. So let's talk about risk. As you probably know from your banking experience, there are different types of risk. First is the chargeback risk. Chargebacks result from three major causes. First, the goods or services are not as described, so the cardholder is dissatisfied. Number two, the goods or services are not delivered. And number three, there is fraud perpetrated by the merchant or someone else and a cardholder is charged. The second type of risk that acquiring banks have is return risk. That means the merchant has to cover any refund. The third type of risk that an acquiring bank may realize is failure of a merchant to pay outstanding transaction fees or fines. The fourth type of risk for the acquiring bank is reputational risk. Because of all these types of risk, every acquiring bank determines the type of merchant they are dealing with and assigns them to a merchant category code, or MCC. The MCC code places the business in a category with other similar businesses, and the assumption is that all of the businesses in the same MCC code have similar risks. So let's talk about process. The next way that merchants are sorted by type relates to the processes they use in their business and the data they collect. Here's a list of some of the basic business types. Retail. Retail is a store that sells merchandise. Restaurant. A restaurant operates differently from a retail store. The standard restaurant application will include a tip line on the receipt. Quick serve restaurant. Quick serve restaurant is a fast food restaurant and there is no tip line on the receipt. Petroleum and C-store. Here we mean gas stations and convenience stores. The gas stations get put into a separate category because they have pay-at-the-pump applications. Lodging. Of course, by lodging we mean hotels, motels, bed and breakfast, and so forth. Business to business, or B2B. A fast-growing segment in new merchant accounts in the past 10 years has been in businesses that accept credit card payments from other businesses. Purchasing agents use credit cards to buy parts and supplies. Travel and entertainment. Because of its chargeback history, travel and entertainment is mostly classified as high risk. E-commerce. The fastest growing segment in terms of total dollar volume and numbers of transactions is e-commerce. E-commerce is now more than 8% of all purchases from retailers. So let's talk about the word goal. Why do we take the time to talk about risk and types of businesses? Well, we're working to guide the business owner to the goal of getting the right processing for their type of business. Your job is to understand what type of business your customer is running, determine what they're selling and how they're selling it. Like, for example, do they sell just online or do they sell out of a store? And capture this information so that you can submit a good quality referral to Granite Payments. Plus, you'll probably get a few questions from your customer about how payments processing will work. So you need to be able to answer a few basic questions about their type of payment application. In this way, you can guide your customer to a payment solution that's right for them. You get the information, pass it along to Granite Payments, and Granite Payments does the rest. Thank you for your time today. I'm Mark Dunn.